With Thompson gone, the pressure on Curry is immense, and the Warriors need a new sharpshooter to stay competitive. Lindy Waters has shown promise. But can he rise to the challenge in time? Kendrick Perkins doubts Steve Kerr's leadership, and the Warriors' future hangs in the balance. Let's explore how Waters' rise could be the key to keeping the Warriors alive this season.
You trust Draymond Green offensively from what we've seen in the decline in his game offensively. Do you trust him?
I don't.
Okay, so you lose Klay Thompson. You're going to have to get something out of these young guys. Draymond is not the Draymond of old. The West has gotten better, right? We could run off a list of teams right now in the Western Conference that are better, about 8 of them that are better than the Golden State Warriors, just on paper alone that we would pick to.
You could be right about that, but I don't like how you're underselling Steve Kerr. Yeah. I mean, first off, I disagree that he didn't set the culture in 2014. I think he absolutely set the culture in 2014, but that's a 10-year-old argument.
Lindy Waters' journey to this point has been anything but typical. At 6'6", he brings size and skill to the shooting guard position, but what sets him apart is his dead-eye accuracy from beyond the arc. The last season, he shot over 40% from three-point range, a number that makes defenses tremble. And let's not forget his free throw shooting, a staggering 96% in the G League, making him one of the most reliable players from the line. What makes Waters' story even more compelling is how he wasn't initially drafted. He went undrafted and had to fight his way up from the G League, proving his worth at every step. With perseverance, he worked his way into the NBA, showing that he can perform on the biggest stage. The guy didn't just survive, he thrived. And his shooting is no fluke. His ability to consistently drain threes under pressure makes him a real threat for opposing defenses. Waters is stepping into a team that has long prided itself on its outside shooting. With Klay Thompson gone, this may be the perfect time for Waters to shine. Warriors fans are no strangers to players who can rain down threes, and if Waters can keep up his blistering pace, he might just be the surprise piece that could help the Warriors climb back to title contention. But before we get carried away, it's important to remember that the Warriors system is complex, and Steve Kerr's role in utilizing young talent has been called into question. Will Kerr give Waters the minutes he needs to become the next Splash brother, or is he destined to ride the bench? Enter Kendrick Perkins, the man who never shies away from making bold statements. This time his target is Steve Kerr. Perkins has repeatedly criticized Kerr, claiming that the Warriors' winning culture was never Kerr's doing. He asserts that Kerr inherited a golden situation, and in Perkins' view, Kerr hasn't done enough to elevate the young talent the Warriors have at their disposal. His argument: Kerr is stuck in the past, overly reliant on veterans like Curry and Draymond, while ignoring the potential breakout stars waiting on the bench. Kerr's coaching decisions will be more scrutinized than ever this season. With Thompson out of the picture and Green's declining offensive output, Kerr has a chance to reshape the Warriors. But will he? If he sticks to his usual rotations, players like Waters might never get the chance they need to prove themselves. And that's the crux of Perkins' argument. He believes Kerr is too rigid, unwilling to take risks on younger players. So it's easy to see why Perkins is so vocal about this. The Warriors are a team with immense potential, and if Waters is as good as his numbers suggest, keeping him on the bench could be a huge mistake. But is Perkins right? Or is he simply stirring up drama? Kerr's track record shows a coach who knows how to win, but this season, he'll have to prove that he can adapt. Waters might just be the key to doing that. But while we debate Kerr's coaching methods, there's another issue brewing, one that could directly affect how successful this Warriors team will be: the decline of Draymond Green. Draymond Green, a player whose defensive brilliance once balanced the Warriors' high-flying offense, is now a concern. Let's be honest, Green's offensive game is fading. Everyone knows it. Kendrick Perkins didn't hold back on this topic either, flatly stating Draymond is not the Draymond of old. And you know what? He's not wrong. Green's shooting has taken a dive, and his overall offensive impact has dwindled, leaving a gap that the Warriors need to fill. This is where Lindy Waters becomes even more valuable. With Draymond's offensive limitations, the Warriors need someone who can step in and provide that scoring punch. Waters' ability to hit threes could drastically improve the team's spacing, forcing defenses to spread out and allowing Curry and other playmakers more room to operate. Waters doesn't just provide an additional scoring option, he fundamentally changes the geometry of the court. If Kerr can effectively rotate Waters into the lineup, it could unlock the Warriors' offense in a way we haven't seen in years. But here's the challenge: Draymond is still a key part of the Warriors' defense. How do you balance his defensive impact with his declining offense? Kerr will need to get creative. finding ways to pair Green's offensive prowess with shooters like Waters to keep the offense flowing. This is a delicate balance, but if done right, Waters could become the X factor that keeps the Warriors' title hopes alive. But all of this hinges on one critical element, whether or not Waters can prove he's the best shooter not named Steph Curry. Let's take a closer look at how his numbers stack up. Steph Curry is, without a doubt, the greatest shooter the NBA has ever seen. But could Lindy Waters be the best shooter the Warriors have had outside of Curry in recent years? The stats don't lie. Last season, Waters hit over 40% from three-point range and consistently drained free throws at a 90% clip. His shooting is precise, quick, and most importantly, reliable. That kind of accuracy isn't something you can ignore, especially in a system built around spacing and ball movement. So when we talk about the Warriors' three-point dominance, we often think of Klay and Steph lighting it up from beyond the arc. But with Klay gone, Waters has the potential to step into that role. His mechanics are sound, his release is fast, and he has a knack for finding the open shot. What's more, he's got the confidence to take those shots in high-pressure situations, something that many role players lack. But here's the kicker: Waters isn't just another shooter. His numbers suggest he could be one of the most efficient shooters on the team, rivaling even Curry in terms of pure percentage. If Kerr gives him the minutes and the opportunities, there's a reason Waters couldn't emerge as a legitimate scoring threat off the bench, or even as a starter in the right lineup. Imagine the Warriors deploying a lineup with both Curry and Waters on the perimeter. How do you guard that? You can't leave either open, and that spells disaster for opposing defenses. But with so many capable players on the Warriors roster, the real question is, will Waters even get the chance to showcase his skills? Let's explore the crowded rotation and what it means for Waters' future. This is the problem the Warriors are facing, a roster so deep that finding minutes for everyone is nearly impossible. And with veterans like Buddy Hield and young talents like Moses Moody all vying for playing time, it's hard to see how Steve Kerr can manage it all. There are only 240 minutes in a game, and with the depth the Warriors have, it's going to be a real challenge to distribute those minutes fairly. Lindy Waters, despite his incredible shooting ability, is fighting an uphill battle for minutes. The shooting guard and small forward positions are stacked with guys like Melton Moody and even Jonathan Kuminga all competing for a spot in the rotation. Kerr will need to make some tough decisions. Does he prioritize proven veterans or take a risk on the younger players with potential like Waters? Kendrick Perkins has already criticized Kerr for being too slow to adapt, arguing that Kerr is too loyal to his core veterans. And that's a valid point. If Kerr sticks to his usual patterns, Waters might find himself buried on the bench. But this season, the Warriors don't have the luxury of playing it safe. They need every advantage they can get. And if Waters can provide that spark from beyond the arc, Kerr needs to take notice. Waters' size and shooting ability could make him a key asset in the Warriors' offense, but only if he's given the chance to play significant minutes. It's a delicate balancing act, but Kerr needs to find a way to integrate Waters into the rotation without disrupting the flow of the team. If Waters gets the minutes, his shooting could lift the Warriors to new heights, but if he's stuck playing garbage time, his potential will go unrealized. And now, as we look ahead, let's consider what Waters' role could be in the grand scheme of things. Could he be the player that takes the Warriors back to the finals? Let's wrap it up. Lindy Waters is the shooter the Warriors need. His three-point ability combined with his size and confidence make him a perfect candidate to step into the void left by Klay Thompson. But the big question remains, will Steve Kerr give him the minutes? Will Kerr adapt his rotations and trust Waters enough to unleash him as the next great three-point threat? Kendrick Perkins might be wrong about a lot of things, but one thing is clear. If Kerr doesn't make bold decisions this season, the Warriors could end up falling short. Waters has all the potential to be a game changer, but only if he's allowed to show it on the court. So, is Lindy Waters the next Splash Brother? Can he rise to the challenge and take the Warriors back to the top? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, if he gets the chance, Waters has the skills to make an impact.